I'm sure you see the T-shirt that I'm wearing today. I don't advocate who to vote for. I don't do that as a head of a nonprofit, but it is a fact that the Democrats believe in doling out money, putting people on welfare, telling people how to lead their lives. And one thing about leftists, they have all these rules, but the rules don't apply to them. They only apply to others. They only apply to conservatives, people of faith, and frankly, those who believe in the vision and creation of our founding fathers. The same thing for their mouthpiece, leftist Hollywood. Leftist Hollywood, vicious, nasty, uh, discriminatory, frankly, racist in its own right. In fact, run by the Jewish left. And I'm a Jew myself, I'm a Messianic Jew, so I can say that, which is a very, I say, very destructive force in this country today. If you see who in the Jewish left has been trying to destroy this country and destroy Donald Trump and anyone that they perceive to be close to him, it's people like Gerald Nadler, it's people like Adam Schiff, who's running for Senate in California, it's people like Chuck Schumer, it is a variety of people in Hollywood, Geffen, all of them. These people, frankly, are vile, and they're not Jews, and I want you to understand that. They're Marxists or they're atheists. That's generally what they are. And there was a story that's out there today about the wife of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's thrown his support with President Trump, Cheryl Hines, who interestingly enough was introduced to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Bobby Kennedy, who I know, introduced by Larry David of the show Curb Your Enthusiasm and also, the writer for Seinfeld. Cheryl Hines is being trashed and vilified by the Hollywood left because she's married to Bobby Kennedy Jr. Now that Bobby Kennedy Jr. supports Donald Trump, or at least has voiced his support publicly. You can see some of the things that were said. Her co-actors are saying, how can you do this and throw your lot with someone who raped a woman? You know that George Stephanopoulos, who's a total scumbag, I've deposed him, low class, frankly, a phony, top to bottom. My former wife saw him walking hand in hand with a guy years ago on Capitol Hill. He pretends that he's things that he's not, much like Obama. But the bottom line is this: Hollywood is very, very destructive. And behind Hollywood is the Jewish left. And it's ironic that the wife of Larry David, who played his wife in Curb Your Enthusiasm, is now being verbally destroyed and vilified by the Hollywood left in California. Let's push on to something else. And I'll tell you something, another outrage that's out there right now. An outrage that Jack Smith, as Trump calls that deranged prosecutor, he's more than a deranged prosecutor. The guy's a criminal. Contrary to Justice Department policy, and you know that I'm a once proud alma mater, that's my once proud alma mater. I was a Justice Department prosecutor, defense lawyer. I helped break up AT&T when I was a young lawyer during the Reagan administration. That he brings another indictment, a supersedious indictment, right before the election. That's contrary to Justice Department policy. But what does this tell you? Is that the courts have given prosecutors and themselves, judges and government officials, immunity where no immunity exists. Bar associations will not investigate conduct such as Jack Smith and others. And he lied down there in Florida in the documents case to Judge Eileen Cannon. He lied, and he's not held accountable. And you see that throughout. And I'm talking in particular about the state bars of New York and the District of Columbia, which are run by leftists. Check out, go on Google and see who's involved in DC on the Board of Governors, Board of Professional Responsibility, which controls discipline in the District of Columbia, as well as the Court of Appeals. Run it, and you'll see that at least with regard to the Board of Professional Responsibility and its committees, none of them have given one penny to a Republican. They give heavily to the people that I have had to sue at Judicial Watch and Freedom Watch, whether it's Barack Obama, whether it's Joe Biden, whether it's Bill Clinton. They're ultra leftists, they're rabid. The DC disciplinary apparatus, the Office of Disciplinary Counsel, is run by a guy named Hamilton Fox, who in his 70s is actually trying cases against Giuliani, Jeffrey Clark, a Trump Justice Department official. He hates conservatives, he hates others. And all these bars are trying to eliminate conservative lawyers and Republican activist lawyers. I've been fighting them for years. And an individual there by the name of Julia Porter, vicious, hateful individual, runs interference for Hamilton Fox, someone who has been caught lying on a number of occasions, yet they won't take any action about it. Well, Jack Smith is like a prosecutor, you see, and he claims immunity. And ironically, he hides behind the same claim of immunity that he accuses Trump of doing improperly. So he brings another criminal proceeding, another indictment, right before the election to try to influence the election. But don't expect any bar association to hold him accountable. They won't do it. And in fact, Justice Department lawyers, frankly, of which he's not one because he was appointed improperly, that's why the case in Mar-a-Lago with the documents was thrown out, they won't hold him accountable, and they won't hold any of these people accountable. And this is something that we're doing at Freedom Watch, is that we hold everybody accountable. I don't care what race you are, I don't care what religion you are, I don't care what your politics are, we will hold you accountable. I brought cases against George W. Bush. I brought cases against Dick Cheney for things that they did that were illegal. And it's time for we, the American people, to rise up to say, we've had it. We're not going to take it anymore. We are not on the government dole. We don't want the government in our lives. Stay the hell out of our lives. That doesn't apply to abortion where you actually kill babies. I'm sorry, that's the point where you step in. And that's the point where the government should step in to prevent murder of unborn babies. So this is something that really needs to be discussed. It is time that we take strong action. And you can see the line that's going on right now by the Democrats. You know, Kamala Harris is extremely charismatic, but the devil's very charismatic too. He takes people in. And again, I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm just telling you this woman is a real threat. You'll talk about a threat to democracy along with the clown that she's running with, this guy, Tim Walz. He looks like some fat clown from Cleveland, Ohio, frankly. You know, overstuffed, looks like 100 pounds in a 50-pound bag. This is someone who can get you really upset just watching him because, frankly, he looks retarded. And this is the guy that is standing behind her that's going to do an interview later this week because Kamala Harris can't speak for herself with CNN, the Communist News Network. So I know my words are very strong today, but I'll tell you something. The reason they're strong and the reason that Freedom Watch takes strong action, hard-hitting cases, citizens' grand juries, bringing criminal proceedings, is because if we don't peacefully and legally try to solve this thing, if Kamala Harris is elected president of the United States, this country is going to go up in flames. I can assure you of that. And isn't it interesting that of all the assassination attempts and all the physical violence that's occurred, nearly all of it comes from the left. The conservatives, people of faith, and others don't generally involve themselves in this type of illegal activity. But if Kamala Harris wins, I'm fearful that there will be those who go to the streets and literally burn this place down. Because at that point, we are in a communist mode. And there are people who are going to say, I'm not going to take it anymore. So join Freedom Watch, USA.org. Join our Justice League. Contribute with tax-deductible contributions. The left is pure evil. They are deceitful. They are the disciples of the devil. Hollywood is their agent. Hollywood is their agent in fact, I'll repeat it again, to destroy not just all of our institutions, but also our Judeo-Christian values. Hollywood could care less how many babies they kill in the womb. They could care less. And this is why we must rise up and take our country back. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America. Remember, the Father and Son will only help us if we help ourselves. And I'm not telling you who to vote for, but my t-shirt tells you exactly what we're dealing with. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz will bring us into communism. Money will be flowing. People will decide it's easier to vote for them than to work. God bless you again, and stay safe, be vigilant, and do something. Get up off the couch, put your martini down, turn off Fox News, which is just entertaining at this point, and get to work. We'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast.